then you're done.
I love that I have a phone that can do this. Anyways, welcome to RHC, the next one. This one's gonna be very interesting. So I'm gonna have to son Joshua the alphashadowhawk clone one more time. Hope you have a legendary grand day. So I mean, it's something that, like, I'm not sponsored or anything. I should cover the cut, but I'm only because KSI. But also it's a new product, so you know. But what's it called? So when it comes all down to everything, let me just remind you, Joshua alphashadowhawk, when you get all those merch, let's just say this. Let's do it like this, right? When you get all this money and all this merch, and you review all your sales, and you get all the results, and you get all that money in, and you feel real good. And then you look at your recent content that you promoted, you asked YouTube, you put in the money, you went through the AdSense program, you put in all that money, you get all your donations from your friends and all those super chats from your friends. You know, screw fans. You know, that's not what it's all about. It's all about getting money for friends and then boasting about that. So let's keep doing that. And, you know, be proud of that, and those like $2 to $3 from random people that you never met in your entire life and you don't know anything about. So that's not gonna look great if, you know, they end up turning on you or anything in the future. But, you know, let's just go with that, and, you know, be proud about that and add that. And then you win another respawn 750 chair. You didn't even win the chair, so what are you boasting about? That you almost won a freaking gaming chair? Bro, I bought mine. I almost won a Mesa Pokemon tournament when I was 11 years old. 2012, 2011, I don't know, 10, 11 years old, bro. If thousands of people. Now remind me, where were you around that time? You were just collecting cards. You didn't even think about playing in tournaments or anything. Bro, when I began playing Pokemon, the first couple years I was like, this is cool and all. When I found out there's a competitive scene, there was something that drove me to do competitive when I was like 10 years old. Bro, before Call of Duty, you know what it was? It was Pokemon. You know why we went to the library? Because I was competing. You weren't competing. You were just there because I asked you to be there to see if they're still doing it. And at that time, they stopped doing it. We were just too late or whatever. Just like Call of Duty. It's funny when me and you were around each other for Pokemon, it was too late to do Pokemon competitive and tourneys and stuff like that, at least locally. And then when we stopped hanging out and you left across the United States because I told you to hit clips, all of a sudden you can go for clips now that you're not around me, now that you're not scared anymore. Now it's all about doing Call of Duty for some reason, something I showed you, and it's all about doing that. And then look at Call of Duty State now, and now it's too late to do competitive or esports, especially when you don't have any skills, talent, or abilities to show. It just explains for itself. I mean, like, you didn't have any during Pokemon either. I mean, I beat you in that too, so, you know, there's that. All I needed to do was pull out Keldeo EX, and you were done, bro. A Hydro Pump, and you're done for. But that's just Pokemon. And I'm sure you and the overweight one can talk about all day, every day, now that you guys are best friends, you know, holding hands into the freaking rainbow in the backgrounds in the meadows, and, you know, la-di-da, and freaking jumping, all happy. Now that you guys are, you know, just donating to each other, and I'm sure if they ever met in real life, Josh was going to stare at him like he stares at his friends for way too long. But, hey, you know, that's one of the reasons I didn't want to be around that kid, because, you know, he's going to be just like Diddy. That's just what it is. Once you give Joshua, the alphashadowhawk clone, enough money, he's just going to be another one of those business wannabe people that, and I'm not saying this is Diddy, I'm just, you know, that's just someone that he's going to turn out to be. He already is that person. But the more bigger he gets, he's just going to be another one of the people that are out there that just have high power or whatever and can get, quote-unquote, away with whatever they want. You know, Jeffrey Epstein type stuff like that. So going back to everything that I said before, once you see the numbers of all your merch and you get all these views that you paid YouTube for, and you get all this stuff, and you're done for the day of switching your accounts to the fake accounts to comment on your own videos and to spam like your videos, and, you know, going and closing all the tabs that you bought the YouTube bots for, and buying all of them for Twitch and Kick and all that. And once you're done doing that, you go back and you feel so great of doing it all. And then you just think all the way back of where you came from. There's no better feeling than you feel right now. You feel like you can beat the whole world. Nothing's stopping you. You think you're the best in the world, and there's nothing that can stop you. But then you think of the first days of where you came from. And you think about how you got here. And then you're like, oh, shoot. All of a sudden, all your dreams are shattered, and all of a sudden, everything's just broken. And your heart's broken, and everything inside just doesn't feel good. because you realize I'm the reason you are on YouTube. I'm the reason you know about Call of Duty. I'm the reason you are in my comments. I'm the person who let you go. This parasite that I didn't mean to create, that poisoned YouTube, that toxifies YouTube, is extremely toxic, manipulative, and just such a poison in the air of YouTube, and making it such a bad and toxic environment for everybody else, and ruining everybody else's perfect experience that I was creating and still am creating. And you know what's funny? My favorite wrestler is The Rock in WWE. And you want to know Joshua the alphashadowhawk clone's favorite wrestler? John Cena. But what's funny is there's more in me and The Rock to compare than there is John Cena and the Joshua alphashadowhawk clone. Because in the company of WWE, where Vince McMahon basically makes your character, it's almost similar to me making the alphashadowhawk clone by accident. You realize I said by accident, right? Well, because the alphashadowhawk gamertag that I made alternate to my Elite Killer Blade gamertag that was on PlayStation 3, that has been inactive since 2017. The very second that Joshua the alphashadowhawk clone decided to put that gamertag on an Xbox is when it became non-existent. Well, inactive since 2017, like I just said. But non-existent on any other console or anywhere else, because it's only been made on PS3. Not even on YouTube was that gamertag made, because that's just what it is, an alternate gamertag to myself. So, if I'm the one who made that, and as long as me and Joshua the alphashadowhawk clone know where the gamertag came from, he cannot deny the fact that he is a clone. It's an alternate account to my main, is what, you know, the terms were back in the Call of Duty days and stuff. If you're a Call of Duty player that's been playing for a long time, or if you do the research, you would know all those terms and what they apply to and what they mean and all that. So that means that if he's not the one who created that gamertag, but he's using it because I let him borrow it during Origins Alliance, that means he is a clone of X-Deadly's, a clone of me, and not a clone of exactly me, but of those characters and gamertags that I made. It speaks for itself. This isn't rocket science. It's very, very simple to understand. And speaking of being in denial, well, the little gamer group of Stormtrooper Call of Duty zombies cannot handle that. They absolutely cannot. They don't got the force. They don't have the force. I have the force. And they wish they can have it so bad that they're commenting in my comments acting like they've won something. I don't understand what they want. A gaming chair? Or a ninja defuse? Or a freaking let's hard scope in the Rust spawn? Like Joshua the alphashadowhawk clone, the 300 subscriber montage. Just that video. My worst clips were better than that montage. Because you know why? Because they were on actual people playing the game rather than bots. And it was so bad. And not even just that. Let's go back to the Rust thing. You gotta be kidding me. How many years has that kid been playing without my tips and tricks and getting him where he's at now? I know he doesn't want to accept that, but, you know, just look at his gamer tag. Look at FaZe Jev's colors. Pink headphones? Oh, yeah, let me just steal that and make it my brand because I can't come up with anything myself. That's just my brain and mind. I'm not that creative. I can't do anything unless it's from Zach or anything Zach likes, because that's all I exist for. That's the only thing that I can do is just copy, because I'm not that good of a player. I'm not that good at a businessman. I'm not a president and CEO like Zach is of Legendary Grand Entertainment. I can't compare to that. So the best I can do is leech off whatever I can take and act like I've earned it and deserved it all. That's my life. Joshua F. Like, it's a joke. And these comments were made a while ago. I'd never seen them. But let's take a look at him. He said, on his fake account, by the way, this is him. He says, "You taught me everything, yet I'm doing great." And you know the funniest part, every time he says that, he has people talking for him, defending him over nothing. And I haven't even thought about him. Haven't even talked about him. And people are probably going to make the argument, oh, well, you make videos because you're not using your brain. It's common sense. I make these videos because they are commenting, not because, you know, for any other reason. I talk about these comments because they talk about how they're so right and they think they know everything. So I make a video roasting them, showing the proof and evidence if I need to, or just simply just using not even 1% of my brain to figure these things out. And people don't think about that part. They're just like, oh, you're making content on them, and it's like, if you don't understand the situation, don't even talk about it. because there's not really much to understand than someone being obsessively emotional and stalking me because they lost and because they can't accept and admit just facts, simple facts. Someone who has me blocked on all platforms is still in my comments talking trash because they are not a man, they are not an adult, because they're hiding in Alabama, because when they're in Kingman, Arizona, they couldn't talk to me. They can yell at their camera all they want. They can talk online all they want. Shoot, they can follow me and try to, like, watch what I do or whatever. That's not going to change anything. You're not going to do nothing besides sit there, watch me, no matter what happens. It's not going to change anything. You're still going to be scared. You're still going to be in your house. You're still going to stay there. And you're still going to be a nobody. You're still not going to show any talent, skills, abilities because you're not that good at the game. None of your people in that little gamer group is nothing to anybody. They don't care. No one cares. But the reason I speak about these things because it's funny, it's entertaining. People enjoy this. People like it. People want to see more. And they're commenting because they're hurt. YouTube's doing nothing, so of course I'm going to take the matter into my own hands. I've been doing that for the past, I don't know how many years that they haven't done anything because, you know, as a company and in business, you would think that they would want more money and more business and more eyes on the platform, but they're letting these people ruin the platform. So I like this platform enough to not defend it, but to make sure that this poison doesn't go out to other people. So if I had to, you know, check jaws of freaking, you know, Joshua alphashadowhawk clone, and the kid's working out every day, bro. Like, working out so much to try to fight me someday, and then it's so cringe because it's over a freaking video game. Like, man up, bro. Like, you are working out and trying to train to fight someone that made you, and you can't even talk for yourself. Get out of my freaking game series. Get off my platform. Deplatform this random. You cannot act so hard when you got people talking for you, bro. Do you see anybody else here with me? No. Do you see me talking about lies here? No. Oh, I am? Then where are you at? You're not right here. Because if you're right here, you wouldn't be. Because you're not. Because, well, that is a gnarly looking spider. Hold on. That's like a black widow or something. But, like, no matter what, you're trying to fight me to prove the point that you're better. You can't be anything if I made you. Now, I know you can't understand that because you're on a little bit of the slower side, but, you know, to keep you up to speed, if someone makes everything you do to the point where you're stealing hello this year, goodbye last year, and freaking all this stuff, and then just Call of Duty content, like, bro, just accept the fact that you lost the one view. Like, you deleted that, and you want to act hard. It's like, bro, you have, not only have you been trying to get revenge with the overweight one, but it's the fact that you have me blocked on all platforms and you're still trying to prove a point that doesn't exist. You can't prove any points if you can't even talk to me like a man. You want to talk online, but you don't want to debate. You want to be in my comments, say you want nothing to do with me, make these videos acting hard because you're not talking to me. Because you know, if we were on a phone call, this conversation wouldn't be the way you think it's going to go. And that's my favorite part, is because he wants to try to do this little internet beef because he's so delusional to the point where he needs people behind him to make him think that he's not a pussy. He needs people behind him so he can act hard. Because when there's more people in the room, then he has more courage. But when he's alone and he cries to himself and he goes insane, it's because he needs to stop doing the stuff he doesn't like and the stuff that I like, and he needs to start doing the stuff that he likes and be a man for the first time in his life. But he can't. You know, he could draw these little pictures with the overweight one. It's not going to change anything, you know. All it's going to be is just pictures and words and just nothing but just, you know, typing on a keyboard. That's all it's ever going to be. He doesn't have any brain cells in his brain. He doesn't have any, like, intelligence at all to make a roast track, diss track, to make any type of song. But yeah, he's going to say my songs suck. It's like, bro, you listen to the most, like, and not even just that, but he listens to Nate Wants to Battle. He listens to rap. And it's like, but you, as a man myself, I don't see you as this. You're still a child. You have your parents talk for you. You have your randoms talk for you. And you want to act like you do all the work when I'm the one who made you. There's not a single thing you have done to earn and deserve a name, except for someone that no one can take serious. Like, let's be completely realistic. Like, I'm not going to fight someone because they're a pussy. That's not going to change anything. If someone is bitch made, I'm not going to fight them because of it. they can talk all they want, but they would be talking to themselves. That's the echo chamber. Like, this isn't me talking to Joshua the alphashadowhawk clone. This is just a message. And this is just a statement. And it's nothing new. This isn't unprofessional for me being real with my people. This isn't, illiterate like them. This isn't illogical. This isn't unintelligent. This is intelligence at its finest. This is brilliance. This is the best that it can get. And that's why these people will talk and talk and talk and talk, but not be man enough to call. Like the overweight one, he lives in his house like 24/7. He doesn't leave his house. So he can talk all he wants, but he's not going to do anything. The only thing he's going to do is just follow all my social medias and talk about my car and stuff like that. Like, you're not fooling nobody. You're not scaring nobody. You're nobody. And I know you know that, and you're insecure about it, and you want to try to make friends. Nobody cares if you have pub stompers and all these people added. Like, they don't even know who you are. They do not care. And unless they're exactly like you in the con community, then hey, it makes sense. But it doesn't matter, because they can be the best players, but if they're not a good person in real life, then nobody really cares, you know. And I mean, you lost twice. So if you have pub stompers and all these people as your friends, like you say, it's like, bro, you lost twice. You can't change that. We both know that. So you can be as emotional as you want about that. And same thing with the alphashadowhawk clone Josh. And even if you got the most pussy of a person like Dark Mario, who can't even like talk normally, coherently, he's the most incomprehensible person that I've ever heard in my life. Who like just cannot put the most simple things together. Like, if you get all these disabled people together, it's not going to change nothing. Just because, you know, y'all have like autism or like some type of mental disorder or mental illness, it's not going to make you a man because you're trying to fight me or like stalk me. That doesn't make you a man. That just still says you're a kid. Like, if you can't debate with me, then it's just retarded, on the real. So let's go back to his comment. Bro, last month with my store, I literally sold out on the hoodie. Never asked. Like, good for you. A graphic designer made your logo. You didn't. Cool. How was your Patreon been going? I just made it on the spot. It doesn't matter that much. I made my Patreon. That was that. You care more than I do about it. Good news. My hoodie is no longer out of stock, so you can learn what successful merch looks like. I never asked about merch. I don't care about your little drawing. And again, you know, when it comes down to it, you're going to look at that shirt and you're going to see the third word out of my 3-name gamer tag. And that's going to hurt you. And, you know, you could say that stuff eats me up inside and, you know, gets under the skin. It's like, bro, if anything, it is completely ironic that you, out of all people, are saying that, because it clearly affects you that much, where you're in my comments every day, you know, just talking trash and just whining and crying like a bitch. Like, there's no point in showing your feminine side when you can't even grow into your masculine side. It's like, it's almost like, the fact that you want to say all these things that you do, but you don't prove anything. I've proved everything in every one of my videos, every one of my streams and everything, and yet you're still here in 2025 bitching and moaning and crying because you fucking lost. It's like, bro, no one cares. Like, just leave it. Nobody asked. And he's talking about, you taught me everything, yet I'm doing great. Like, if you were doing great, you wouldn't be bitching in my comments still. Like, no one cares about your female side and you being a female. Like, nobody cares. Like, I don't know how much you don't understand how much people don't care about it, but it seems to me like you just want this validation from me. Like I know you my son and I already sunned you, but you want this, like, your validation from your father so bad. It's like you see me as a father figure, like your real dad. Like, your biological dad, you don't like him, you know, he did some stuff that you don't like. And then your 5 dads since then, one of them ain't even really your dad, it's just your dad of your blonde brother, Michael. And he was dope, by the way. I said that last time, and he's cool. He's the reason why me and Joshua actually played Call of Duty, the alphashadowhawk clone. And that was cool. He's cool. I never met his biological dad, so I don't have anything to say to him. His newest dad, however, Raymond or something like that, that guy has like a whole bunch of issues, and he fits perfectly with them. Like, that guy's definitely like not in the right mind, and he fits perfectly with those people. Because that whole family has like all types of problems. Like, there's so much wrong with that family that I don't even know how they can all be around each other, because there's so much wrong. But I mean, you know, with all that stress that family goes through because they don't want to solve their problems, they just add to the stress, and it's just like, it's gonna keep going. You know, they just do bad stuff to each other all the time, and it's just gonna continuously keep going. And like, you know, how close he and Tandon are too is just also weird, because Tandon isn't a man, right? And he was a little bit chill. He can be, but you know, him like truly who he is, like after the stuff I heard that he did to Dawn Princess Undead, like that's messed. And then also like Joshua alphashadowhawk clone's parents paying her, my little sister, to date Joshua, and then he's boasting about his girl right now. Like, bro, just because you rush into a relationship when you just meet somebody, you didn't even build a relationship. Shoot, you can't even build a friendship with me. So how are you thinking you're prepared for a relationship? I already made that point. But it's like, bro, you cannot boast about something that you're just rushing into to try to boast. Like, whoa, you got a wife? If we were friends, I would care. I would congratulate you. But we're not. So I don't. Scroll on. You know, like you say. It's just funny, though. So weird. But anyway, so this one says, I once asked this random, how does Zach get out of bed pretending to be about something 24/7, and the only thing he's good at is denial. There's nothing to really say to that, because that's the kid that 24/7 in his room, he doesn't leave his room. And you know, boasting about being so good at Call of Duty, and then he reports everybody he gets in a gunfight with on his Twitch streams. He talks trash on every one of my channels, but not once wants to debate. He always sees my messages on Twitter, but doesn't say nothing after I completely obliterate him. Then he wants to call me a bitch for having him blocked that I never did. And it's like, okay, so you're one of those people. It's like, okay. So you're one of those that just loves to criticize whatever you see wrong in people, but yourself, like, that's what you don't want to accept. You're insecure because of all the stuff that you're wrong about, and instead of fixing that, you want to lash out on people that you don't even know. So that's his whole entire thing. And then I don't know what that's supposed to mean, because you know, I would agree if there was you know, competition and I lost, but you know, Ivy lost, the overweight one. The alphashadowhawk clone lost for years. Dark Mario lost. Who else has lost in 1v1s? That was recorded, only a couple people, but they deleted it. So, you know, it's funny that that same person I won twice against, and that's like his whole thing about my content and music. And it's like the only thing he does is talk trash on videos, and then he hides in the little room and like talks trash, and then he hides right after, you know, and he acts like freaking like the coolest dude that's ever what. Like, no, that's not no. And then he says the N-word and he's white. It's like, bro, you're only so comfortable with that because you don't leave your room. If you were to go out in the streets and you were to go out your house and you start doing that disrespect, I'll guarantee you that part of your language is not going to come out. That part of your vocabulary, that's not a word you're going to say. I guarantee you. Anytime if you were to open your front door and leave your parents' house out of the basement, like the very second that you step into this town, this city, and once you act like yourself and you let that word out, yeah, okay. I was born and raised here. And he's talking about, you think living in forever high school mode, which is funny because that's basically Joshua, the alphashadowhawk clone, because when I was in high school, that's when the whole Origins Alliance thing started and everything like that. It's like, what? The kid still has a name that I never gave him. I let him borrow in Origins Alliance in 2016. He's such a freaking kid that he's using that name now. He's not an adult. He's still a child, bro. He's still like a freaking kid to the point where he's too pussy to say anything. He will say everything in the comments, but he's too scared to be a man because he knows he wants to be my best friend and brother. He knows he can't switch up, because if he did, he would have debated on a phone call. He would have said, I'm sorry, Zach. I'm not a man. You know, I'm a female. I was born a female. And, you know, the whole time, me and Tandon were doing stuff. And, you know, me and my brother and my dad, you know, there was a different story to that. I'm the one who started that. And it's like, bro, if he actually told the truth, that's how it would go. But he wants to, you know, just talk in the comments and then, you know, all this cringe stuff and just not proving nothing. Like, their whole life is about video games, and I don't play video games like that, bro. I've grown up. I'm doing all kinds of stuff in my life. I don't have time to talk about video game 1v1s that I've already won. There's no point of them being here in my comments besides proving nothing. Like, when it all comes down to it, they're basically wanting to say they want to fight because they lost Call of Duty 1v1s. I'm not going to fight nobody over Call of Duty. I'm not going to fight nobody over video games. I'm not going to, nah, because I just don't care enough. You can hit your pillow as hard as you can. You can hit your monitor. You can rage. You can even rage quit. Like, I don't care. You do whatever the heck you want. But just don't do too much, because I love this town and this town loves me. We'll just say that, because I love how, I love being here because it reminds me of people being real and authentic and not pretending. Because like, if they're a Joshua F and an overweight Ivy here, two video gamers saying the N-word in public here, I love being born and raised here. It feels like the realest place to me, because if they were to ever come here and try, just try any of that, like, it's funny. They would Tekashi 6ix9ine it. They would be here for like 1 minute and then leave. If that's true about, like, 6ix9ine going to somewhere in New York or something, or Chicago or Michigan or something. I don't remember what it was, but he went there and then like he made a video and then he left like right after. I think it was like security camera recorded and everything. If they were to do it, that's how they would do it. They're basically 6ix9ine, but like worse. Cause as 6ix9ine does it, he's kind of he does what he does, and he actually goes through with some of that stuff. So when it comes down to it, I don't know what's true or not, but like, if it is true, when it comes down to it, at least he does some of that stuff that he says. Because like, some of that stuff, I don't see nothing but just talking trash because they lost. They're not in no tournaments. They're not proving nothing. They're just sitting here talking trash about like stalking me and like, I don't know, like hacking me or something, because it's talking about like my car being fire or something. Just because my quote unquote grandfather, that's not even really my grandfather, and some like family friend or something was trying to do something to my Mustang and like blow it up or something on some like Diddy freaking Sean Combs type stuff to what's his name, Kid Cudi. Like, I didn't care that much about it, and it's weird because it's like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's like, it's almost like they're saying that, he's like, this dude's jaw needs to be tested and all this other stuff. It's like, bro, if you don't leave your house, you shouldn't be talking about stuff you're not gonna do, if you never leave your house. So it's like, don't talk about manly things when it's not even like, fighting isn't really a manly thing. Like, it depends on the circumstances, because like it's seen as unprofessional because it is, and it's not really manly if you fight someone. Like, when you're the president of the United States, right, do you see him throwing hands with every politician and everybody he disagrees with? Just saying, let's be real. And that goes for like Vladimir Putin and all these other people. Do you see them throwing hands with people that maybe roasted them, put them on the spot, showed proof and evidence and all that? Do you see them doing that? Okay, then that's why you don't see me doing that, because it's unprofessional. It's a waste of time. If you're not there to debate, sit down and talk. Like, that's what Biden and freaking Trump did. That's what Kamala Harris and Trump did. That's what Trump and what's her name, Hillary Clinton did. And 2016, funny enough, speaking of, that's where all the dank memes started. That's the stuff that I started showing Joshua the alphashadowhawk clone. And I was a bad influence for that, because the N-word was used so many times back then, and then he started saying it, and I'm a bad influence because of that, right? But then you're gonna go around the overweight one who just drops it on the fly like all the time. But he's an adult now, so it's inexcusable. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse to talk like a man when your career and everything, which Joshua the alphashadowhawk clone doesn't have a career, but when everything you do has been created from me, if you have not even made one idea, you're nothing. You're non-existent. Why do you think I call you non-existent? Why do you think I call you COD zombie stormtroopers? Because y'all missed so many times with every shot you try to send. You lost 1v1s. Like, how many times and how much do I got to disprove y'all? We're in 2025. Like, make some moves, y'all. Do something with your life. Like, do something out there, outside your room. Screw the commenting. Screw all that stuff. Get into esports. Like, I don't hate none of y'all. I dislike your actions, if anything. But, like, I wish and hope the best for y'all. And that's okay if you disagree. If you're too negative to, do the same to me and say the same to me, I don't, like, as it is right now, I don't want to be friends. But I'm open to it. And, we're just speaking, like, realistically from here. That's what this video is all about. And it's not even going to be RHC. Like, I'm just going to create Reality Check 11. And this is going to be the second video of just putting it all together. And if it's too long, don't watch it. I could care less. If it's freaking, whatever, I don't care. But I don't hate people I don't know. Like, I'll dislike people's actions, but as far as it goes, like, I don't know these people, and I never wanted to. So, you know, maybe at one point in time I kind of wanted to know the alphashadowhawk clone and be homies and friends with him, but he ruined that. He chose to ruin that. So, like, you can stalk me all you want, but no matter what, at the end of the day, we all knew who won those 1v1s. And at the end of the day, we all know who is the president and CEO of Legendary Grand Entertainment. Not just video games. Y'all can do your video game stuff all your life. Go for it. By all means. But everything that I'm doing does not pertain to 1v1s and battles and, like, whatever you guys think, because that's just simply not what it is. Like, if you want to say I'm in denial, well, the overweight one, out of all people to say that, I don't know. And the alphashadowhawk clone, Joshua, to say that, kind of funny, because they can say I'm in denial all they want, but they're the ones who deleted the 1v1. So they can say whatever they want. But like I said, at the end of the day, who's going to be crying because they didn't make their name? That sounds like Joshua F, the alphashadowhawk clone, to me. Who's going to be crying because no one's going to remember their name? The overweight one and the Joshua alphashadowhawk clone. Sounds like to me, and that entire little gamer group. Because they build themselves off of Call of Duty. And if no one cares about Call of Duty because that game's just at the state it is right now, then you can't come to my channel crying to me as if I'm going to care. Like, I don't even play that game no more. I quit today, last night, yesterday. I could care less. So that's that. You know, you could talk trash as much as you want in the comments, you know, trying to fight me, but it's like the most, like, brain dead thing anybody could ever think of, like, on the real. Like, no one cares that much except you guys. So if that's something you're proud enough about by trying to get a reaction out of me, you're gonna realize that your views, your subscribers, your statistics, those are not real people to start with. Secondly, for a couple of those people that I've beaten 1v1s, you're gonna remember that, and then that's gonna even hurt you even more. And then you're gonna look at mine and you're gonna try to compare, and you're gonna try to do this and do that with me, and it's like, it never works. For years it never worked. Except, you know, you can think that you're trying to get some type of, like, fame and popularity by, you know, me making these RHCs, and you think that's gonna, you know, put your name out there or anything, and it's like, no, that's not how life works. I know you guys want to continue to think you're winning something, but there is no prize at the end of this road. You know, at the end of the day, you're gonna realize that the best of the best is the one who stands tall. And I don't even see y'all below the basic level. I can see every level from all the way up here with the crown and the throne, and you guys don't exist. And you can be in denial that I'm the best, but if you're not even going to compete with me, then, you know, no one's going to support a gladiator that doesn't go to battle. Like I said, you know, I made that point. So you can go ahead and talk about all the stuff you want, but this conversation ends here. You can say how it was my friend or freaking whatever, but then you realize as host, I put it on invite only. So no matter what, you can try to, you know, make it seem like it wasn't you the whole time all you want. But then when it comes down to it, if it's on invite only and I invite you and we're the only ones in the lobby, and the whole time I'm 1v1ing you, I'm roasting you in words, and I beat you twice in a row. But the first time I was already beating you and in the lead. And then in the midst of the match, or whenever you invite someone, or your party privacy is open, or friends only, or something. So it's like, no matter what, you can't blame me for something that, firstly, I don't really care. But when it comes down to it, it's like, you know that wouldn't happen if it weren't for what you did. And not just that, to make it even funnier and better, not only was I playing the game the whole time and not inviting anybody or nothing like that, because like I said, why would I invite someone that I'm not 1v1? Why would I invite spectators? You know, the whole point was to shut the guy up, and that's what I did for years. And I mean, you know, obviously he's in the comments still and still mad and emotional and crying, but not just that, but it's someone that I don't even recognize. So, you know, even if I did invite people or whatever, if it was someone I knew, I mean, there's no way that someone could have joined me that I didn't know. That's just, there's no chance of it happening. So I knew, and ever since then, I already knew it wasn't my fault. So that's the part I find hilarious. But moving on.
Does it get any worse than this? All these people
All these people. Bro, they don't even get off the game. They don't even get off the game. 20. And this one's scary. Check this out. It's supposed to be a female or something. 4? Bruh. We go to this one. 12. Bruh. Now I never do this, but he says he wants me to do it, so here we go. You dumb idiot! You're such a bitch ass up. Bitch made ass freaking inbred. Like, no wonder y'all from Alabama. Like, hold the freak up. You want to talk trash on me, and I don't do this all the time. I usually don't do this. But one time only. How are you going to go off of basically deriding the whole time, saying that I'm your blood brother, going from that to try to act like you're the opposite? Like, get your stupid, like, bipolar, like, you're so psychotic and mentally deficient and not, like, there's more than just mental illnesses going on, because, like, you have, like, this bone disease, a PRS, and you trying to fight people. Like, stupid fuck. Your brittle ass gonna first fight you get in. Like, don't act like you can fight everybody like you're Conor freaking McGregor. Like, maybe the substances part, probably that. But as far as it goes, you are not successful in any way. You have no talent or abilities. You're not funny. There's no charismatic part about you. You deride off of everybody that you clan hop to and every freaking person around you. You use them for fame and leech off them, because you are nothing when it comes to content creation. You are nothing when it comes to actual ideas, because you're so stupid that you have to copy me, and your whole channel is literally the gamer tag that I made back in the day. You're so gay and homo for some reason that you're using the gamer tag I never gave you. How weird. Because you are the same person that walked in on me while I told you I was using the restroom. You came in anyway. And then, not only that, I let you borrow a gamer tag. You know I told you you're going to borrow it for the clan. Why the freak do you think you have it after the clan was over? After you wanted to stop talking to me and want nothing to do with me, but you're so freaking slow that your gamer tag is literally has to do with me, because you admitted yourself that it's from me, and yet you can't even create anything on your own. Everything Call of Duty you got from me, the whole content creation you got from me, screw the specific games, the whole reason you're on the platform is because of me. People don't have to deplatform you. They don't have to. They're just going to do what they've always been doing, and that's not watch you. So I don't care about you getting mad because you got your own account hacked, because you're probably like JJ Orange talking trash on people using the N-word. Shoot, freaking the overweight one that you hang around probably got him to say the N-word just like you and got so comfortable with it. I mean, like, I don't know about the overweight one. I know obviously he's racist but has black friends, so it's kind of weird that people are okay with that. But, you know, obviously Joshua is okay with anything as long as he gets some type of gain out of it, as long as it, you know, boosts his ego and boosts his stuff. Like, bruh, like, freaking fruity sweet random, bro. Talking about, I'm gonna be better than you. Like, bro, nobody care. Like, just because you're down, okay, don't mean you gonna go up. Just leave the syndrome alone. Stop being a fanboy, get it? And you're not incredible in any way. Like, come on, son. If I had a family, it's going to be like The Incredibles, because this kid is such a fanboy. I swear. This dude being a supervillain, like, nobody cared. Like, for 26 minutes, your stupid self wants to keep talking about this other stuff. Like, talk to me like a man. Quit doing this video thing, bro. I don't know how the family people do it in Alabama. Like, family, and they like family. They all about family. I don't know how you guys do it down in Alabama, but in California, we don't do it like that. Like, and I'm not meaning the entire state. A lot of people are going to misinterpret that. I'm meaning this toward Joshua the alphashadowhawk clone himself, because he keeps trying to push this narrative. It's like, bro, you want to talk about being an adult? Firstly, claim some responsibility and accountability for yourself. And if you can't even do that, don't do content creation. If you can't even have a friendship, what makes you think that you are ready for a relationship if you can't even have a friendship? Oh wait, that's right, I forgot. You're in therapy. You know, next thing it's going to be the mental hospital for this random, I swear. If you're in therapy, there's already a lot going wrong. Like, you cannot try to be successful and then be depressed at the same, like, it's, if you want the most success, you cannot let your emotions get the better of you, because that's not, that might be how the world is right now and how the world, you know, does things and stuff. But the secret to life is just not that. That is not the secret to life. Because if you're doing everything negatively, yeah, it's a negative world. Oh, the freak well, grow the freak up, Joshua, and stop talking on my name like you've done something with your life. Because all your life you just cry and complain to your parents. You bitch, whine, and moan. You are one if you keep continuing this. And I don't dislike you. I dislike your actions. And I wish that you were a better human being. I wish, because I freaking hope, because it might not ever happen. I don't even know if there's any hope for you at this point, because all you do is just cry and complain with no proof or evidence. You don't show anybody a reason to care. You just say, here's this, and if they're as slow as you, they care, because if they have disabilities like you, they care, because otherwise, they don't care. And yeah, I have disabilities too, but mine are not freaking like sitting 24/7 online talking trash about me with freaking other people. Like, who cares your account got hacked? Make another one. You're so good, right? You're better than me, but you can't handle the fact that you lost your account that had a gold VMP. Oh my gosh. The VMP, you know, a gun that's very easy to use, because you don't have skill. You don't have nothing. You aren't nothing, because you don't have that, Joshua. You just don't have it. And you need to accept that. You should have accepted that a long time ago when you got kicked from Origins Alliance. And for whatever reason, to this day in 2025, you really think that you can just sell merch and think that, oh, you're better than me because you sell merch. Like, money? Yeah, it probably helps your ego, but obviously you're still dead inside, because you're crying and still complaining and still mad about stuff that nobody cares about. I don't care about a fight with you. You're so small and little, there's no point. Even if there freaking was a point, which there isn't. Like, not even the fact that you're small and little, that already makes it have no point on its own. But it already didn't have a point to begin with, because who are you to even talk on my name like you've done anything? You don't have the mind to do the stuff that I do. You don't have that brain. Your brain is on like I'm all the way up here. You're freaking not even on the basic level. You need, like, I don't know how freaking much, like, I can't even like explain the amount, an unbelievable amount of intelligence to have done the stuff that I've done. I made you. You are nothing because I made you. And when I stopped freaking giving you that shine, you're trying to buy that shine. You really think that buying your fame is going to make you have skills and talents and abilities, because you never had any to begin with, and you were never funny to begin with. The only thing you do is use other people to be funny, for entertainment, for any content. You use anybody else because you yourself, by yourself, cannot do it like I do it. I don't have friends. I don't depend on everybody else to make my content watchable or enjoyable. I don't depend on money or a car or kids or girls to make me feel better. I don't care, and I don't depend on anything. You depend on me for your existence, which is why you keep talking trash and you want to keep making videos on me on fake accounts. I could care less. I have never cared in the first place. But if you go and talk, then talk. And stop blocking me. Like, which one is it? Are you a man, or are you bitch made? Because you are choosing to be bitch made by hiding and blocking, but still talking trash in my comments because you have the confidence, because all these randoms around you. But it's funny, because when you accept and realize that I am by myself this entire time, and you're sitting there with all these other people because you are scared, you are not a man, you don't have the balls, you don't have the pair, you are not ready for this. You need to stop. And it's just video games, sure, but Man, when I tell you you cannot play those, you are not going to freaking, nope, not at all, not ever, not, nope. And not only that, like, that's just one of freaking countless things that I do that you don't even have the brain to comprehend. A lot of this stuff you don't understand. Because if you had in any way, any type of way to do the stuff that I did, you are doing it completely wrong. You've gone so far down the freaking deep hole that you are doing anything to stay relevant. You are trying your hardest. You're depending on merch because no one watches your content. You're depending on your clothing because no one cares about your gaming. You depend on other people for your content because you can't hit a clip. You depend on them for funny moment videos and entertaining videos, I bet, because you can't do it yourself. You have a gaming house because you yourself are not funny, entertaining, charismatic. You are nothing. You're not even a character. You're not even a gimmick. Basically a gamer tag is what I mean by those two things. You are not even existing because what you are is a freaking toxic human being, a parasite trying to infect the website of YouTube and the internet. You are an experiment gone wrong. I'm sure your parents have said that once, but as your other dad, or shall I say the overall dad, as your overall dad, you are an experiment gone wrong. I let you borrow the gamer tag. That's all the experiment was, and you're trying to take this thing and make it bigger than it already. It ran its course, and you cannot deal with that. The gamer tag ran its course. It is done. You can buy as much subscribers, comment on your own things, because you yourself are too insecure, Joshua F., because you cannot do the things that I do. Who the hell cares about it? Okay, how about this? Let's go by your logic. If no one cares about what I do, why are you doing the same exact thing? You dumb idiot. It's just like the line you said in your video. And funny enough, you want to apply your channel and my channel, and the similarities is because when mine came first, you just had to do the same exact thing. You had to copy and paste everything that I did from day one. You're just not ready for this, dog. You are not ready. Just stop being someone you are not and live your life. That it has nothing to do with content creation. Who the heck cares? You have your parents defending you so hard because you leeched off me that much, and still nobody cares. And trying to make this little protesting little group of fucking bitch-made gamers like no one cares that much except you, and you can't even confront me or do anything. And that's it's crazy how scared you are of me that you moved across the United States back to your hometown. You got so scared that you moved back to your own base. You went out of the battlefield and went back to your own base. No, you were never in a battlefield. There was no battles because you were already scared as it is. You kept talking to me at the park. Like, you talked to me at the park. I wasn't there to talk. I know you don't really understand that and don't really get that because you didn't get to know me, but for like the millionth time, because you can't get that through your thick skull, I wasn't there to talk. If you wanted to do that so bad, I gave you one opportunity, and what you did with it was be my friend, shake my hand, have your hand up the entire time. So why are you talking online if you go back and forth with shaking my hand, telling other people you're my homie, then talking trash on me? Like, no one cares because they don't even know which one you are. Are you a freaking fan idolizing me? Are you a freaking friend of mine, ex-friend, that, used to hang around? Are you a freaking, like, trying to be a rival of some sort? Or, it's just not going to work any way that you think about it. Not how it is, it's how you think about it. I'm very sure and guarantee if I Crazy Teddy, Valkyrie, FaZe Jev, anybody in FaZe Clan, if anybody sees the content that you did on me and all those videos, shoot, if freaking all these people that are best friends with Ivy or whatever that Overweight's name is, you know how he said that he's best friends with pub stompers and, you know, famous celebrity Call of Duty players. So if he's friends with them, how do you think that they're going to react when they see your content? Exactly, because he's not friends with them, and if he is, it just explains it all why people say that the COD community is like the way it is. That is exactly why nobody cares about Call of Duty anymore. When we lost a lot of people due to COVID, a lot of people stopped playing Call of Duty, and with that, nobody started caring in the reboots. The golden age is over, Joshua. It is over. There's no one's going to care about what you got carried to do in comps, freaking, whether it's esports or public match scrims, whatever you're getting carried to have happen, no one's going to care anymore because you are too late and you cannot accept that. You are trying to hit clips and play comp and make games. Nobody cares anymore. You can get carried to make a game all you want. It's not going to appear on any radar whatsoever. The one thing I know you are not able to do are all the things that you are saying you're better at doing. You are never going to make a game that people are going to love unless you are helped by hundreds of people, unless you're helped by like so many companies and so many people. That's the only time you're going to get any relevancy, for one, and for two, in any way, any type of business, for three, any type of fame, money, whatever, it's going to be because of other people, not because of your actual work, your intelligence. You're just brainstorming with them, if anything. Like, literally, when it comes all down to it, that's what is going to be. Over everything, that is what it is. And I don't care what anybody has to say about that, that is what it is. Whether it's doing that, creating a video game, or what else you brag about, gaming chairs. When you could just buy one, I thought you had the money, but I just bought one, and you're complaining about being in a contest of a gaming chair. Good for you. You entered a contest for a gaming chair. I bought one. Who the heck cares? Quit comparing us when... No, shouldn't even get into that. Whether you do esports or it doesn't matter what you think you can do in terms of all this stuff that you are now getting into, by the way, judging from when I was over at your house and all those times that we hanged out, all those times that we talked, you didn't do anything with your life. And then I introduced you to so many things that all of a sudden now you're interested in, and now your whole goal is to be better than me. No one gives... No one cares. It doesn't matter how much the overweight one's going to persuade you or try to get you to think some way, but because all your life you've been manipulated, so no one's gonna freaking see it like you do, because that's all they are there to do. You're not seeing your own path. Everybody's doing it for you because you are not doing the stuff that you say you do yourself. You're letting everybody do it for you. You're depending on everybody else because you're an emotional, broken down, little trash piece of human garbage that has no worth in anything that you try to compare me and your stuff to, because there is no comparison. There's nothing that you can say to me. There's nothing that you can do to change the facts and reality of life that I've explained here in this video. It doesn't matter what you try to do. In 2024, you are sitting in the spawn of rust. You suck at Call of Duty. Just stop trying to do something that you're never meant to do. No wonder I said it back in the day as a joke. You do really horrible at Call of Duty. Just stop playing the games that require too much brain power that you don't have, and stick to the games that are more relaxed, like Nintendo, you know? And I like Nintendo, and, you know, I love a good Nintendo game depending on what it is, whether it's, you know, Legend of Zelda, like the shirt, or freaking Metroid, or freaking other games at that, even Mario games. But I'm still good enough to do these things because that's me. You are not me. You cannot do the things that I do. You cannot compare yourself to anybody because... Actually, yeah, you can. You can compare yourself to any other gamer out there because that's what you are. That's all you are. It's just someone that plays video games, and that's it. No one's going to remember you for any other reason besides you getting help from other people. And if anybody's going to remember you, it's going to be because of what I said earlier. Other people's work that you just so happen to be like an extra in a movie. It's basically like if you had a role in a movie, it would be an extra in the background that was there for one scene, the minimal amount of freaking seconds, maybe a few, whatever, as an extra. That's how much work you put in freaking anything that you might have some type of thing that gets you popular, success, business, money, whatever. You're just going to be at most an extra in the background that begged for that spot. And if you are the most lucky, as if you were hitting the lottery, that would be the spot that you would hit. That would be the spot that you would get. Because that's what you would hit. Because everything you does and will do is going to miss. Because you cannot do the things that you say that you're able to do because of your ego gets the best of you and your narcissistic personality comes out because of maybe trauma, and you're allowing that to still get to you as a fully grown man, quote unquote. Let's just use this for an example here. And so you are still a child to me. Well, you are nothing to me, but still a child that is begging for attention. And the only way you can get it, and you know the fact here, that the only way you can get any type of attention is off of me, because I'm the one who made your dumbass. I'm the one who made your bitch ass. I'm the one who made your white cracker looking little freaking thing. I made you, and you cannot accept it. And it doesn't matter if you do or don't. I could care less. Because at least I have accepted the truth of life, and I have never made any type of mistake, and I've never made anything in this situation or any other situation that has led to something that someone would see as bad or negative. Everybody loves me, and just because you don't doesn't mean you have to ruin the whole party for everybody else and ruin everybody else's life because you're having a bad time. Go fix yourself. Go grow the freak up. Because no one wants to hear you cry and complain about video games, about how you're better. No one cares, Joshua F. Get that through your thick skulls. Understand that somehow, some way, you little kid, you little thing. You're so small, smaller than an atom. You can't even talk to me. Like, how are you going to act so hard, but you're so freaking small, you're so little. You can't even talk to me, bro. Like, you're not even freaking funny either. Like, all the comedic stuff, I was carrying your entire channel. If, like, okay, let's leave out all the stuff about me making you in the first place. The only reason people watched you is because of me. The only reason that you get views on the drama stuff is because it's me. Because no one cares about your channel unless it has to do with me in any way. And you know that. And if not now, later on you will realize, oh shoot, this whole time I wasn't living my life. So, you do what you want. I'm gonna go freaking fuck some more pussy.